tariffs today, and I really think that you could provide a unique perspective here, considering you served as President Trump's Commerce Secretary in his previous administration. There were tariffs in that first term, but not nearly as sweeping as we see present day. So to start off the conversation, I would love if you could give your assessment of current Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. How do you think he's doing?
Well, I think he's doing fine. Howard is not historically a trade expert, but he's a very good businessman. He's a very quick learner, and he's working very, very hard at implementing a much more comprehensive program than we had in the first term. Because what's happened, President Trump is now much stronger than he had been in the first term. He controls the Republican Party, pretty much controls the Congress, even though the majorities are small. So between those facts and the fact that we won the court battles in the first administration about how we could do the tariffs, he now is using them much more broadly, much more comprehensively, and as a result, there's even more tariff activity than we had in the first term. So Howard's had a lot to catch up with.
There's more tariff activity, as you said, but Secretary Lutnick is getting hit for his messaging. Even Steve Bannon said that he's close to being an unmitigated disaster, and there is online speculation that should Lutnick leave the administration, markets would rally. What's your reaction to that?
Well, because they're moving so quickly, naturally there are some changes that they have to make as they go along, and that has that in the scope of it has people concerned because they don't see where is the end. Whereas last time we were fairly clearly defined. One would be steel, one would be aluminum, one would be refrigerators, one would be this. So it was a much narrower definition. It was clear where we were heading. And so it was a different program. Here, it's a whole lot of products to a whole lot of countries with a whole lot of different tariff levels. So naturally, in the beginning, that makes people a little confused. And I think the real thing they're worried about is what is the end game? Because these levels are also higher tariff levels than we were doing. We didn't have anything around 40, 50, 80, 100, 150%. So people are worried, is this going to be a forever escalating thing? And when you think about it, businesses can adapt to good news, they can adapt to bad news. What they have trouble adapting to is uncertainty. And now there's, for the moment, quite a bit of uncertainty. But I think once the president makes a deal with the first couple of large countries, and whether that's Vietnam or it's Japan or whoever it is, I think that will start to give people clarity. They will see there is an end to things. And I think then the markets will settle down.